Want to know the best way to book your Disney World dining reservations? Today, I'm going to walk you through it in both a browser and an app to show you how it works. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Shannon from WDWPrepSchool.com, and today I'm back with another Watch Me Do Something video. I'm surprised this one hasn't come up sooner, but it is very necessary because people often want to get very competitive dining reservations for their trip. And one of the ways to do that is to be ready as soon as it opens. And it helps to be able to see the screens like in this video so you know what it's going to look like when you log in. Before the day that you are trying to log on to book your dining reservations, there are some things that you need to do to prepare. One of those is to plan your reservations out day by day. What do I want? First day of the trip, second day of the trip, maybe nothing. But if you have things, make sure that you have them all planned out. Once you have that list, then you need to order them by difficulty so that you can make them in that order and not chronologically. It is very normal to want to book day one, day two, day three. But for the very competitive ones, you're going to want to book those first and then work your way down the list and save the least competitive ones for the end. So you might ask yourself, how do I know what is the most difficult dining reservation? Well, in general, character meals are going to be at the top of the list because they're very popular. And also, fine dining restaurants can be up there as well. Signature dining is what Disney calls them. And then most of the things are after that. We do have a calculator on the website that is for the Disney dining plan so that you can see if it's worth it. But one of the other things it does is it tells you which order to make your dining reservation. So on the calculator, it'll say, we don't recommend the dining plan for your situation, but here is the order that we recommend making your dining reservation. So that's one way that you can figure out the order. But in general, character meals are going to be first. Something to be aware of and plan for is that when it comes time to book lightning lanes, they will not let you book lightning lanes during a time when a dining reservation has already been made. And so if you're booking your dining reservation 60 days out, you might not be thinking ahead to the lightning lanes, which are booked 7 days ahead of time. But that is important to think about because you won't be able to book a lightning lane and a dining reservation around the same time. So make sure you keep that in mind as you choose your dining reservation times. If you are staying on site at a Disney World hotel, then you should be prepared to book at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 60 days before your check-in date. And just say to your phone, what is 60 days before check-in date? And that'll tell you. And that's 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Sometimes in the last few years, they have opened a little bit before 6 a.m. So we often tell people to be ready at 5:45 a.m. Eastern Time, but they should all be open at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're staying off-site, then you can book dining reservations 60 days before the day that you want to eat somewhere. So it's going to be a different thing. You're not going to be able to use the strategies necessarily. You just book it 60 days beforehand. And that means if you have like a 4-day trip, you're going to have to go online at 6 a.m. Eastern Time 4 days in a row in order to book it. It's one of the perks of staying on site is that you get to log on once and book it for your whole trip. Another thing to do before you are ready to book your dining reservations is make sure you have a credit card on file. The dining reservation process always requires that you have a credit card on file. And that's just to make sure that if you don't show up, that they can charge that card as a no-show fee. But as long as one person in your group shows up, they won't charge it. So even if you have a reservation for 4 and one person comes, you won't have to pay the no-show fee. But if you don't show up at all, they will charge that card on file. Some of the reservations also do require prepaying, such as Cinderella's Royal Table. And so the credit card would be used in that case. For my bookings here that I'm going to show you, I decided that I'm going to use the dates of April 6th to April 10th. Well, I'm assuming I'm arriving April 6th, but my dining reservations won't start until the next day. Those dining reservations include Tuesday, April 7th, Liberty Tree Tavern lunch at Magic Kingdom. Wednesday, April 8th, Brown Derby lunch at Hollywood Studios. Thursday, April 9th, California Grill dinner. And Friday, April 10th, a breakfast at Topolino's. Now, there are 2 methods for booking dining reservations. One is through a browser and one is through the My Disney Experience app, the Disney World app. For the app, you will just open the app at the time that your dining reservations open up and start booking. For the browser method, you can do a little bit ahead of time to prepare, including loading all your restaurants into separate browser tabs. And then right before 6 a.m. hits, make sure that you are logged into your account fresh Sometimes I will even log out of my account and then back in just to make sure that the login is good. And then right at 6 a.m., I will refresh the first browser tab for the first dining reservation and start to book that way. And then you would just keep going through all of your tabs until all of your dining reservations are made through the browser. Okay, so having said that, I want to show you the two different methods. We're going to look at the app first and see how that goes, and then the browser. And then afterwards, we can compare and see which one worked better. Okay, I had to switch you to my my cam on my laptop so that I can use my phone. I'm going to open the Disney World app, and we're going to start going through the list of reservations. There's a couple ways you can do it here. One is you can hit the plus sign at the bottom and do check dining availability, but it's going to ask you a bunch of questions and do a bunch of searches. So I find it easiest to just search for the thing that I want. And then I can do reserve dining from the restaurant page and then select the number of people and the exact date. You can see for Topolino's, a few dates are sold out, but most of them are open. So I'm going to select it for the last day. And then I do like a late morning. Luckily, that is still available, 11:20. And I'm going to choose it. It's going to let me add on some things, reduce some dietary requests, and then I'm going to hit continue. I just changed my password. So, of course, it's going to be a problem on all the apps, Disney Plus, Disney Cruise Line. Don't you love that? Okay. So, all right. And then you'll see there's a credit card guarantee. So it's nice to have your credit card on file beforehand. And then click next. Okay. Now I'm going to do my next one and search for it, which is California Grill. Going to search for it. California Grill on Thursday, April 9th for dinner. Reserve dining. And then we're going to do a party of 2, April 9th. Dinner. And I like to time this with the fireworks if possible. So I'm going to go around 8:15, something like that, because they have a view. Incidentally, if you go early there, like 5 o'clock, and eat dinner, you can come back with your receipt and watch the fireworks from there if you would like. Okay. Credit card guarantee. Next. Okay. Then we're going to move on to the third one on the list, and we're going to search for it as well. And that is Brown Derby for our Hollywood Studios Day, obviously. That is Wednesday, April 8th. I'm so excited to see which one of the methods is faster between this and the browser. Okay. And this, see, it's letting you do a range. Like you can say the 8th through the 10th or the 6th to the 10th if you're open to different days. Okay. So this one is pretty easy. I do want to do lunch. So we're going to get into Brown Derby at 11:30. And then let's see. Add your phone number, credit card guarantee. Next. I can confirm. Yes. Okay. So one more. And that is Liberty Tree Tavern for that good home style cooking. Oops. Not livery. Liberty Tree Tavern. Reserve dining for lunch on Tuesday, April 7th. And I only want the 7th. It keeps wanting to do a range. Okay, 11:45. I do like to eat a little bit earlier, get in before the rush. Okay. And that is that. Now, all the reservations are in my account for this. That wasn't too bad. Okay, so you can see in my browser that I have a tab open for each restaurant that I want to book, and they're in order that I want to book them in. Tell me that you're a type A planner without telling me you're a type A planner. But in addition to having each of the restaurants loaded just on the regular page, I want you to click the check available days button because that takes you to the next page that you can also have preloaded and then just refresh it when 6 a.m. hits. It just saves you some steps. So at the top, you want it to say disneyworld.disney.go.com/dine/res/restaurant/Topolino's Terrace. So basically, you want to be sort of in the search, starting the search. And then right as your window opens up, you can hit refresh on this page and that'll give you a good start. Okay. So we're going to go in order. Topolino's Terrace is the one that I want for April 10th. And I'm going to scroll to the 10th and choose a time. Okay, 11:25 is great. You'll see a lot of them are sold out, but 11:25 works for me. And um okay. It's getting confused because I have multiple reservations because I'm testing this system out and I told it I just wanted to keep this one, which is fine. Okay. So I am going to hit continue. Of course, I just changed my password. So we'll see if it works. All right. Credit card on file. Yes. I have read. Click continue. All right. So that one is booked. So now we're going to go to the California Grill, refresh the page, and it's already loaded to the search to get the search started. For this, we are going to go to April 9th, and I'm going to dinner. And I want to go close to 8. And it's going to prompt me, of course, because I have duplicate reservations. They're going to tell me which ones to keep. Hit continue. Same thing over and over again. Phone number, credit card guarantee. Click the I have read and agree to the guest policies. Okay. All right. Third one, Hollywood Brown Derby. This is going to be on the 8th at lunch. And there is plenty of availability. So this shouldn't be a problem. Okay. We are going to go to lunch. It's going to say you already have a reservation at 11:30. Yes, I know. Okay. Let's go through the same old steps over and over again. All right, one more. Liberty Tree Tavern. This should be on the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And we're going to do lunch there. 11:30, it's going to say, which reservation would you like to keep? This one. Okay. So pretty similar to the one on the phone, the app. Almost identical. It's just that it's in a browser. So you can kind of choose which one you want. Okay, so all done. There you go, both methods. Now that we've walked through those, you can see that they're pretty similar. So it's really just a matter of preference. Do you like the ability to be a little bit more prepared ahead of time in a browser, or do you want to just be on your phone in bed because it's early in the morning and you can search from bed? I've done both, so both seem valid. What about if you can't get what you want? Like, let's say you went to log on and it wasn't there. There are a couple different things. One is sometimes Disney just hasn't loaded it. This is especially true for things like dining packages, Phantasmic dining packages, or dining packages that are at Epcot for the festivals, things like that. They just don't load 60 days out often. So for those, I would come back and check. For others, it could be that they are just booked. And in that case, I would use a dining alert service. I did a video recently comparing dining alert tools. If you want to go watch that, feel free to do that next. And in the conclusion of that video, I discovered that Mouse Watcher was definitely the most reliable and was able to get me everything that I needed. And so you can also set that up. You can also just check on your own if you want to search randomly and look for openings for something that you couldn't get, but don't give up. And especially don't give up even like the day of or a day before. People drop dining reservations all of the time. And a lot of people get really good dining reservations the day before that they wanted to eat somewhere. So I know that's stressful when you're 60 days out and you would really like to just not think about it anymore, but things do pop up. So don't give up, use a dining alert service or keep checking And I think you'll probably end up with all the dining reservations you need for your trip. So I hope that information has been helpful, but if there's any part of it that's confusing or you still have questions, please be sure to let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching.